Hi, how's everyone? I hope I find you all well. Thanks for coming back, and hello and welcome if you are new. I swear I stutter badly. I sing even worse. But if you can vibe with a hot mess, then you found the right channel. We're doing Aries placements today. Aries, you're up in the rotation. This is for everyone, all signs, because we all have Aries somewhere. It just depends on what house Aries falls in everybody's chart. But this is just a general energy read for the collective in regards to the Aries energy. Okay, so that's for everybody. So, what do we have this week? In sidereal, you only have Uranus at 29 degrees exiting Aries at the moment for Taurus, and it should get into Taurus by about tomorrow or the next day. But your ruler Mars is 25 degrees in Gemini. It is squaring Chiron at 27 degrees in Pisces, but it is in a nice trine with the moon in Libra. So, let's think about that for a little bit. Um, there was something here I was picking up about communicating, but there's a deficiency in the empathic connection here with Chiron in Pisces, and it's squaring that Mars in Gemini. So it gives a feeling of more energy, more power behind the mouth, behind the words, behind the information coming out. Then then there is attention to how you connect in on a spiritual, psychic, intuitive, empathic level. Okay. So also we need to remember that we are in Mercury retrograde. So even though Mars, the ruler of Aries, is in Gemini, the sign of communication, direct, finally, so there's power here in the communication. Gemini's ruler Mercury is retrograde in Pisces, which means there is a pullback on the information. So Mercury retrograde definitely um, always designates like delays or misinformation, gossip instead of facts, missed calls, dropped phone calls, erased voicemails, slow mail getting lost, emails going to the wrong people, maybe like publishing getting delayed or whatever. So there's an energy here of power behind the Gemini communication and how you feel about it. And this, it's like gossip here, gossip and half truths and half information, and there's more energy behind that than there is processing of the truth of the information, because the key to Mercury is that he doesn't it's a neutral energy. It's one of the only neutral energies in the zodiac. um, all the other planetary rulers there's a feminine or masculine, there's some kind of bias to them. But Mercury is the only neutral, unbiased energy. It doesn't care about the veracity of the information. Mercury only cares that it gets out. It doesn't matter if it's gossip or if it's good research or good communication, bad communication, lies. Um, um, Remember, Mercury also rules thieves, con men, liars, pickpockets. You know, it doesn't matter what the words are. All Mercury is concerned with is the delivery of them. And with that in retrograde, all of that kind of communication is kind of pulled back on. So we have to try in this time period to reconnect with our intuition. We have to make those decisions for ourselves with our gut we got to go with our gut. We got to go with what our mind tells us, with our what our hearts tell us, because this logic part of just just dealing with what we're being told, the information coming in that might not be true, or delayed, or too late, or tainted in some way. But it's almost as if we could just pause and tap into that Pisces energy, that psychic connection, the the looking underneath the surface, the connectivity, with other people in a spiritual way, with an empathic connection there. We can root out the real information. But Chiron is in Pisces right now, which means there is a deficiency in that. So if we can work around it, or work with it, or work through it, power through it, then by all means, please do that. If we can't, then I suggest taking a step back from the shield rattling about your personal perspective, because there might not, that's that Gemini energy. There might not be truth behind it. Okay, so it's like a guide to maybe, I I can't sugarcoat it. I have to say it the way that I hear it. They're saying check yourself. Okay, don't go off don't go off the handle on something that you heard secondhand, or a phone call that came through that, it's just the communication is it's being messed with right now with the energies. I'm not even thinking that like anybody in particular is doing it. It's just the energies are kind of batting things around right now. I hope that came out right. Okay. The trine with Libra, the moon in Libra, I like it. Aries, Libra is your opposite. So your ruler, Mars in Gemini, is in a nice trine with the moon in Libra. Gemini and Libra, both air signs. This is about processing. This is about the intellect, learning, balancing that information. Both Gemini and Libra are different aspects of balancing. Um, Gemini is concerned with balancing within themselves, and Libra is concerned with balancing with people outside of themselves. So there's the two energies are kind of mixing right now with Mars in Gemini. Like I said, that's that power behind the mouth. But then the moon in Libra, which is bringing in a little bit more care and softness to the diplomacy here. Libra being the sign of like the scales of justice, she brings in diplomacy, fairness, arbitration, love, harmony, balancing. She's like the mediator. And the moon here in Libra is giving a very soft, kind of equal, balanced energy to the feelings. Oh, so that's what we have in the astrology. Now, I was doing a 5 card spread for you of Aries placements. Remember, this is for everybody. Um, we're using the First Light Tarot and the Rider-Waite Tarot. And I laid out the 5 for the foundation here. Um, and then I was pre-shuffling the Rider-Waite, and I dropped these 3 cards, and I will get to them. But once I saw them, I really decided to keep them, so I paused to set up the recording, and we're starting from there. So remember, not all messages will resonate for all of you in the same way. So leave what doesn't resonate now, but try to keep it in mind because it might make sense at a later time. You are all at different points in the timeline. I can read the script, but I can't tell you what character you all individually play, or where you choose to stand on the stage, whether you're involved observing or you're a cross watcher, I can only read the energies. So when I say he's doing this, she's doing this, it only refers to the characters in the cards. Energy is different, okay? Gender ain't shit in spirituality. If I say there's a King of Cups here, a Pisces energy, and he's doing something, it just means that the card is the king, but it could be a woman in her masculine energy. We all have that in our chart, okay? The most feminine girly girl could have 8 to 10 masculine placements in her chart, and many times she'll be functioning in that king energy. So just keep that in mind, okay? I paused at 10:25 for anyone looking for number 6. So we're starting with the first light tarot, and we've got the current energies here, and we've got the high priestess, okay? Perception. She's been coming out a lot lately. That's Pisces energy. Finding purpose in all the things, meaning I heard what were they showing me? Finding the purpose in all the information coming in. Spiritual, physical, verbal, intellectual, everything. Anything coming into you, into your consciousness, find the purpose in it. Purpose in all the things. So this is hidden powers, reflection of ideas, and knowledge. The High Priestess card in the Rider-Waite, she sits between two pillars. One is black, one is white. Behind her is the inner sanctuary of higher knowledge. Only when you prove that you have mastered the basic knowledge can you go on to the next level, right? So the key with the High Priestess card is that the truth is somewhere in between the black and the whites, represented by the two pillars. Here in the past influences, we have temperance. There was some kind of like compromise. There was a combination, change of environment here, maybe. I just feel compromise here because temperance, it's Sagittarius energy. It's the angel that has the two cups, and he's mixing them back and forth, trying to could literally find the right solution, okay? So this is, I feel like, there was compromise in the past trying to find a good solution to something, okay? Near future, we do have the death card change. This is Scorpio energy. This has been coming out a lot lately also. And looking forward, beautiful, the lovers here. That's Gemini energy. So far we have Pisces with the High Priestess, Sagittarius with Temperance, Scorpio with Death, and Gemini with the lovers. On the bottom of the deck, we've got the Emperor, that's Aries and Capricorn. Might I point out that these are all major arcana cards. So that means that this is higher energy. Maybe we feel like we are not in control of this situation. We definitely feel like we're not in control of the information that's being given to us. And that is playing out with Mars in Gemini, putting a lot of fire behind the mouth, behind the speaking of the words. But with Mercury retrograde in Pisces, it's not really caring about, it's not using your gut, your instincts, your psychic ability to figure out bullshit when you hear it. I'm sorry if I'm beating around my words. I told you I stutter really badly. So that's the main feeling going on here with you, with the Aries placements. Remember, this is for everyone. So wherever you have Aries in your chart, that may be the area of life that this is going to play out. Like, say you have Aries in the 7th house, this could play out in your relationships. Say you have Aries in the 10th house, that could play out in your career. If you have Aries in the 4th or 5th house, it could play out in your family dynamic, kids, pets, the house, things like that. So when I was pre-shuffling the Rider-Waite, I asked for clearance. I asked for not clearance. I asked for clarity on temperance in the past influences. This kind of mixing, trying to find a good compromising solution here. The thing with temperance is that it's mixing things that you maybe didn't think would work together before. That could be people, it could be ideas, it could be anything like that. And when I dropped these three cards, I decided to keep them. So here we have the Tower. Tower's been coming out a lot lately. Scorpio energy again, Pluto energy. This is destruction of an illusion, but for your liberation. Okay, a lot of people freak out when they see the Tower because I mean, yeah, it does look pretty violent, right? The reason it's so violent is because by the time we get to the Tower, we have had so many opportunities um, to end this cycle but for ourselves that by the time we get to the Tower, it's the universe going, all right, you didn't end it, now we're going to end it. And that's why it feels so abrupt, because the universe comes in like in order to liberate you from something that is slowly keeping you um, encased in something that's not good for your own good. On top of that, we dropped the what is this? The seven? The seven of wands in reverse. The seven of wands is fighting your good fight, okay? Fighting your corner, I heard. But it's gaining the high ground. See, it comes after the six of wands. We've got the six of wands down here. And in the six of wands is these are all wands of victory. These are all when like the person is coming in on the horse with the laurel wreath and the wands all around him are his supporters coming in and celebrating his victory. But now here in the seven of wands is that person trying to defend themselves from the people who once had their back. But here in the reverse, it's saying that there is a feeling of being overwhelmed or un inadequate to take on this um, conflict here. But um, on top of the seven of wands in reverse, the next step up, which is the eight of wands. I like this, okay? It's like if you see the progression of the cards, the six of wands of victory, you're coming in on your horse, everyone's singing your praises, hurrah, hurrah, so and so made it. And then in the seven of wands, all those all those wands that were in the hands of people who once supported you are now kind of adversarial to you, and you're having to defend your victorious position. And here comes the help. A lot of times they'll interpret this card as straight communication, and it could be, but I often give communication because it's air energy to the swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. But this is action. This is like more than just communication, more than just a phone call, more than just you know sending you prayer, thoughts and prayers and shit like that. It's more than that. It is decisive movement, quick decisive action that will turn the tide for you. So it's like this person is trying to defend their position. They're becoming overwhelmed. They're feeling inadequate after this Tower, and then right in front of him comes streaming in from the left, bam, these eight wands in order to protect you. Okay? So this is on in the past. This could be something that happened before. Again, this could still happen in the future because everyone's at a different point in the timeline here, okay? So next we have the High Priestess. What are we going inward to find? What are we listening to our gut about? Perception. Okay, perception. It's like I heard listen to the tone. Okay? Because people can come in and say, I wasn't lying to you. But then somebody can come in and say, I wasn't lying to you. Listen to the tone. Also, there's something here about undertone, intent, what you already know could be true. You know what I mean? Like if there's somebody here that's betrayed you before and the new betrayal has their stink all over it, and they come in and they're like, I didn't lie to you. You know damn well what the truth is. Go within, check your inner gut, and ask yourself what do I think? Can we get some clarity and please clarify and elaborate the High Priestess and the current energy? High Priestess, yeah, I just feel like that's and Pisces is pretty busy right now. There's a lot of planets going on in Pisces right now. Yeah, there she is, the Queen of Cups. Pisces energy. Compassionate, warm, and an open heart. It's like this person here in the current. What did I say when I'm like, the Queen of Cups might pop out, but it could be a masculine. And it's someone trying to be open hearted about this. I heard like, well, I don't want to judge them too harshly. I love him. Blah blah blah. But then we have this Seven of Swords in reverse. Somebody got caught up in their consequences. I heard somebody got busted red-handed. This is in the current energy here. Someone got busted red-handed and now they're apologetic because they got caught. This is remorse about getting caught and facing your consequences. So, I mean, if this is the High Priestess, because we do have the Queen here twice. We've got the High Priestess and the Queen of Cups, Pisces energy. Well, let me get that final card. Because it feels like somebody may have been too compassionate, too lenient, too understanding, and now they're catching their consequences. Like somebody, because this is the Seven of Swords is the Thief in the Night card. Somebody making off with some kind of information, some kind of power here over someone. But in the reverse, it's them getting caught up in their own consequences. On top of that, we've got strength. Somebody needing to be strong about this. Someone needing strength to face these consequences. Now, I'm not saying that you did anything wrong. Absolutely not. This is a Queen of Cups. She comes in, the soft queen with the heart wide open, understanding and psychic and compassionate and loving, and somebody knifed her in the back after she tried to be compassionate about it. Someone knifed her in the back and ran, and now either that person is facing consequences for knifing a queen, or the queen is like, shit, this is what I get. This is what I get for trusting them and not being strong. So now somebody is having to be in the energy of strength. But the key with strength, holding on through change and fear. So the key with strength is this the woman in the picture is the Empress, and that's the Lion of Leo, the ego. So the Empress come down off her throne. Somebody had to shake the Empress off her seat. Okay, she is all four queens rolled into one. She's the best qualities of all four queens, and she took so long to get to that throne, to sit down on her plush ass, and now something had to shake her off her throne in order to wrestle with this ego. I don't know if this is somebody that you are dealing with or if this is something that you had to face within yourself, but the key to strength, when your strength is allowed to come out, I heard your strength. Let me get this out without stuttering. Your strength shines brightest when you can balance your power with your peace. Okay? So this queen is going to have to understand that her compassion is her power. But like the queen here has this cup, of love, but it's got a cover on it, which means she has to be very discerning about who she opens her heart for. So the strength will come in being discerning about who you let um, feed you this information. That's for somebody. Hang on. After being taken advantage of, we often question why somebody would do it, okay? And why did we have to learn this lesson? It's not just so that we can it's not so we can swing the other way. It's so that we can find a balance and not be too much in compassion without being protective also. That's the lion. Leo, the lion, is also very protective. He also has pride in himself. He has pride in others. He has pride in his work. Sometimes the pride can get a little too big, maybe have a head a little bit too big about it. Sometimes Leos can come across as having an ego, but not like any real good reason for it. So there's a balance here. The Empress coming down, she represents growth and abundance, balance, patience, right? Because in order to get to the Empress, a lot of things had to grow along the way, so she's very patient. Oh, sorry. So here in the current energies, High Priestess, inner perception, perception about others, Queen of Cups, maybe you were a little bit too open-hearted about something, somebody or something stabbed you in the back, maybe in a situation turned out to be not what you thought it was. And now either you or another person are facing the consequences of being a little bit too open-hearted, a little bit too compassionate. Now either you or they are facing consequences and have to be strong about it. Remember, if this is for you, the strength comes by balancing your power and your peace. Do not abandon the fact that you are a loving, compassionate, open person. But the balance to that is knowing that that power needs to be protected. And in that, you can find your peace. And once you gain, it's so weird. They're trying to tell me when you can find peace in your power, you will find power in your peace. Okay? That's the key. I don't know why I always have to beat around the bush to get there and try to explain things. Oh God, I hate ads on my music. Son of a bitch. Sorry, I swear too. I think I said that in the intro. It's true. I paused at 2737 for anyone looking for number syncs. Okay, so let's go to near future. Near future, we got the death card, so there's a change here. But again, it's like the tower. A lot of people freak out when they see the death card, but it's for our own liberation. In the Rider-Waite, the death card is the Lovers in Chains, Capricorn energy. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I was thinking of the devil. Okay, death. Yeah, okay. Something, yeah. So death is being ruled by Scorpio, which ruling planet is Pluto. He is the god of the underworld. He is one of the two aspects of death in the zodiac, the other one being Saturn. He is the reaper proper. He's the god of time, and when something's time is up, Saturn will come through and bring the dead to the underworld. But once in the underworld is ruled by Scorpio and Pluto here. This is transformation, taking something that something that has ended and transforming it. So, what is this change that's coming, please, in the near future for Aries placements in the collective? What is the change here? Please clarify and elaborate on death card. Oh, the Hierophant. Okay, that's Taurus energy. This is dogma. Tradition and instruction, yes. Okay, so dogma would be if he's in the reverse and extremism. That's okay. So this could be Now I don't get a lot of love here, but this could be, if this is romantic, this could be a soul contract. The Hierophant is representative of the Pope, and as the High Priest, he is the keeper, interpreter, and teacher of divine law. Okay, so there's law here. There's sacred law here. Something that was a traditional instruction is being changed. What is this Hierophant energy, please? Something that you had held as a truth for a long, long time. Maybe because it was placed in you as the truth. Oh, we've got a flipper here that I didn't see before. What is this? Ace of Wands. I love it. Ace of Wands. A powerful gift, an unexpected spark, and new creativity. Okay, I'm going to get one more for that, please. Clarify the Ace of Wands on the Hierophant. Brand new inspiration for something, a new tradition, breaking out of something. Okay, because now we have the Queen of Wands. This is Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius energy. The Hierophant is Taurus on Scorpio here with Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, but she's in the reverse, which means that she's not in her highest energy here. So this fire energy might be a little bit bitter. This is somebody who's demanding and harsh. So let's read this together. Death on some kind of tradition, some kind of instructional structure. Whenever I get the Hierophant, I always hear, we do it this way. This is Taurus energy, very, very stubborn, very creature of habit, right? We do it this way because this is the way it works. And this is the way it works because this is the way we've always done it, because this is the way it works. So generational teachings are here, okay? This is the way it's done because this is the way we do it. But there's sometimes with this Taurus energy is a little bit of guilt because there's the feeling of, if it doesn't work, if it doesn't hold up, if it ends up not being true, it's not because the doctrine was false. It's some kind of detriment in my character. So it's like, if this doesn't hold, if this didn't work, if this doesn't hold up, it's because I did something wrong, not that the structure is wrong. And that actually is what's wrong. The structure is wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. Okay? You didn't, it could be that you put too much faith in the structure, too much faith in the dogma, too much faith in the tradition. And once it turned out to not be true, you took it too personally. Okay, but with this Ace of Wands here, you're going to get some clarity here. I know that the clarity usually goes with the Ace of Swords, but I feel like there's action here. There's an inspiration, but there's here this this Queen of Wands in the reverse. Maybe somebody is going to be very harsh about this new found information, this change. Either you or this other person. I feel somebody really holding on to it. Like I said, this is the way it's done because this is the way it's always been done. Even though you've got this Ace of Wands. And aces always come from the divine. This is like a big inspiration, a new spark, something unexpected that's going to put a fire under you for change. But somebody, usually this is another person. I hate to say it, but Queen of Wands often designates a karmic individual in our lives, another person outside of ourselves. I don't know why, but that's just how she comes across. So this other person might see that you have been inspired to make a change in something that had been foundational with you, and now they're a little bit bitter about it. They don't understand it. They want to take back their power. But you know it needs to change. That's in the near future. So looking forward past the near future, we've got the Lovers. All right. This is a union, matters of the heart. This is a choice. I love this. There's a new choice here. What is the choice in the near future for Lovers? Like I said, I didn't really get love here because there's not a lot of cups besides the Queen. But here we are at the Lovers in the near future. You know what? Or looking forward. And you know what? It's been playing out in the collective for the last couple weeks that once we get through some kind of portal, there's a soulmate in the future for a lot of you, a lot of us. Who dis? Oh, a page. Oh, a page. Oh, a page. But it's okay. This might be you. One more for this page, please. One more for this. Can you clarify this page with the Four of Swords in reverse? Oh, okay. I might have to get some more clarity on that. I just heard it's final. It's final. So on this Lovers Union Choice Gemini energy, we've got first we got the Four of Swords in reverse. That's a good card because the Four of Swords represents healing after a heartbreak, solitude, going within, not going out, taking a social media break, kind of distancing yourself from the peer group. It's basically just autopilot functioning at the base minimum because you're putting a lot more effort into some kind of healing. Well, when it's in the reverse, it's them finally coming out of that cycle. This is returning to the world and reawakening. Ooh, I like that. Someone's reawakening to the idea of coming back into love. And I feel like it's this sweet queen up here. I just now, okay. I'm sorry I stuttered. I heard someone had to release a Queen of Wands. That's what the death was. You had to see, remember when I said that the Hierophant was spiritual tradition, which means this could have been a marriage. This could have been a soul contract here that had to change. So there was an ending to a soul contract here, an Ace of Wands, that new beginning, a new inspiration. Wands are very active, so this could be somebody making plans, coming out of this idea of having to be stuck in something that was the Tower had to come to, right? Because in their current energy here, there's a sweet queen, and they may have betrayed her in the past. But there's communication coming between them after somebody having to defend themselves. Maybe she had to defend herself, or he had to defend himself. But there's an ending here of a sacred contract, and there's somebody here who's bitter about it, and somebody here who's absolutely feeling inspired and reinvigorated afterwards. Now, here in looking forward, they're at this point of being able to choose love again because they are coming out of this energy of healing after this heartbreak. On top of it, we do have the Page of Wands. Pages are young energy that totally makes sense coming out of the Four of Swords. It's like being reborn. Somebody is reborn, and death really does say new life and rebirth here. And then we have the Page of Wands. He's enthusiastic, he's sincere. It's a young fire sign, so the page always goes to Aries. This is Aries energy here. But it's somebody optimistic and fearless with brand new ideas, eager to embark, but inexperienced in it. And then the next thing we have, death again. There's something needs to change. Yeah, life changes. There's no going back. Oh, look at that. I actually like this combination here. Coming out of a heartbreak, fresh and renewed, leaving behind this other. So there was like a death here of a relationship. This Queen of Wands is bitter about it. She's salty as fuck. Going towards a lover's. He's coming. Somebody's coming out. Remember, I say he, but this is gender neutral. Okay, gender ain't shit. This could be a feminine. This could be a masculine. It could be somebody who uh, doesn't resonate with either. It's an energy of somebody coming out of heartbreak, healed, ready to be reunited with the world. Page energy, um, enthusiastic about a new opportunity. But I feel like he's jumping on this horse like I'm not going back to that old cycle. I am reborn and the old me is dead. That's what I heard. The old me is dead. Bottom of the deck, the sun. Bam. Love it. Well, you know what? I'm not going to front. It was in reverse, but the sun is still the most powerful, happy, wonderful. It's the most positive card in the deck, even in reverse. In reverse, it still means that all this good shit's coming. It's just a little bit delayed. I feel they're telling me it's a little delayed because they're still in page energy, but it's definitely still coming and it's still just as powerful. This person might be in a little bit of doubt, a little bit of fear missing out, but there's nothing really negative here, even with this death card. The death card is on his side or your side or whatever, whoever this page is that's renewed after this change, leaving behind this Queen of Wands, going towards a new choice of love. They're not going back. Okay, and then the sun in reverse, it's still really happy. There just may be some short delays because I feel like he's doubting himself a little bit. Whoever this is, you're doubting yourself a little bit because you are still kind of fresh. That page of wands is a baby. So it feels like even though you're reborn and you're enthusiastic and you've got your queen in your sights, you're still a little bit unsteady about if you can go through this again. But I would encourage you, yes, go forward because the sun is there. It feels like you may be your own delay just because you're in a little bit of doubtful energy here. Yeah. We've got the sword, the knight, I'm sorry, the page of swords. And the three of pentacles. Okay, but they're in the reverse. I don't like it, but somebody is letting their doubts get to them. Mm-hmm. Don't let your doubts get to you. Someone's letting their doubt get to them. You've got the Page of Swords in the reverse. That's somebody who's lashing out or maybe not looking at information correctly. And then the Three of Pentacles is usually a card of competence, skill, and recognition, but this was in the reverse. So this may be somebody who's being careless. I'm going to get one more for that. Just one. One more for this. How does this work out? I feel like somebody might fuck this up for themselves just because they're doubting their own. You're doubting your own abilities. The Three of Pentacles is abilities and skill, but it's in the reverse. So you're being careless with something. I feel like you're being careless with yourself. You're not giving yourself enough credit. Did I say that already? You're not giving yourself enough credit. There may be people in the mix trying to deceive you, like you can't do that, or you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't go that way, don't choose this. And you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't. because you're in page energy. You're not confident about this yet. Do we need one more? Yeah, Nine of Pentacles. You're fine. Nine of Pentacles. You're fine. This is resourcefulness, prosperity, and somebody who's self-made. You're absolutely going to be fine. So I feel like there's this little bottleneck here going towards the love. You're a little bit shaky, a little bit not sure of yourself. You might be giving in a little bit to some people who are trying to talk you out of it. You sure you want to do this? You sure you want to go that person's way? You sure you want to choose that person as your lover? And you're like, somebody's in the energy of, no, I'm not sure because I'm new to this. I'm new to choosing for myself. But I have no choice. I can't go back. But because of that questioning, there may be a little stutter step here with the Sun in reverse. But there's no need to sell yourself short because you've got the Nine of Pentacles here on the energy. You are fine. Okay? Plus, okay, let's talk about the Nine of Pentacles. We've got the baby Empress here. She's self-made, resourceful, prosperous, smart, organized, dedicated, makes smart moves with her money. This is whoever is resonating with this. This is you. And then she has that bird, right? So usually in this card, the bird represents like that she's so wealthy she can buy a bird. But I have another deck where the Nine of Pentacles is represented by a wolf and a raven. And the wolf and the raven work together in order to gain prosperity for both. So I feel like in this card, the bird is the other person, your person coming that you're going towards. But it's a little small right now because that energy is so far in the future. So for you, for this card, this is you, viewer. You are the baby Empress in the picture. You're going through it and you feel brand new, but you know, I know that you have it in you to be prosperous in the end. But there is help along the way. And I feel like this is the love that you're going to choose. The helper that gets you there. Okay? It's small because I don't feel like you realize it is this person yet. Okay? But you're going to work together somehow. In the dynamic with the wolf and the raven, since the bird can see higher, they can see opportunities out there that the wolf can't because he's on the ground. But like in nature, ravens will see a carcass, something that has just died, and they will let out a call. And the call will guide the wolf to the bounty, and they will both share it. Okay? It also works for the bird because the wolf can tear into, I know this might sound really grisly, but the wolf can open up the package so that even the bird can get to the pieces. Whereas, can you imagine a bird trying to peck at a huge dead bear or something? It's easier for the wolf to come in and open it up, and then they can both share. That's the key to this prosperity. Somebody out there is going to be able to help you along the way. And I feel like you will meet them once you I feel like you may know them because you're going towards them already. They are the lover. Yeah, I love this. So let's recap real quick. There was something here in the past influence, temperance, trying to find a good solution to something, but the tower brought it down anyways. You felt overwhelmed either because of the situation or because of the destruction, but this Eight of Wands came in and changed the tide for you, whether this is communication, whether this is an idea, a new ambition or something, or somebody just sending up help. Something came in to help this solution. Okay. Then here in the current energy, you've got the high priestess. That's that gut instinct, that using your intuition. With this Queen of Cups, somebody came to the realization that this Queen of Cups is important. But because of that, there were consequences that needed to be faced. And whoever faced them really had the strength to get through it. I feel resolve here. I feel somebody say, no, I'm right. This is right. She's the right one. I know I'm going the right way, and I have to be strong in order to continue. So we're going to go on to the Angels and Ancestors Oracle messages for you. Okay. I would say keep the faith. Keep it moving. Be strong. Use your gut instincts about what is true, about what somebody's telling you, about what you hear, about what you accept as true. Remember, we've got the Hierophant here on death, which means some old structure, some tradition, something that you've been locked into needs to change. And you need to, either you or somebody else is going to be kind of bitter about this. I hope it's not you. Don't be bitter about having to change your mind about something. Let's get some, okay, we've got one. We've got Autumn, all right. Oh, the Raven, look at that. Were we just talking about the Raven and the Wolf? Oh, woohoo, too many. Just one more, please. For the collective, one angel. Okay. Heart Goddess. Oh, look at that. I feel like that's that Queen of Cups. There's a real healing energy around you. It's almost like she's the shake-up. Yeah. Current energy. Here she is. In the past, then there was that tower that came down. And now here she is in the forefront. Here's the change of a contract and a bitter Queen of Wands. And then the Lovers going towards this new choice. You know there's no going back. But there is fear here. Fear and doubt. But again, you end up with this 9 of coins. And I feel like it's because once you go towards that love, everything else is going to fall into place. Because you're going to find cooperation there, where I feel like over here with this Queen of Wands, there wasn't cooperation, there was just obligation. Okay? So let's read the ancestor cards. We've got the autumn here. We know what that means. It's about autumn time. The autumn coming up. Here we go. It says release the old and rise. Oh, rest? Rest, yeah. Here we go. That's the raven I was talking about that was in the other card. What? You can't come up here. No. No. So, release the old and rest. It says release all of the pressure and expectations weighing you down. Okay? Shed it all. Shed it all that you can... Oh, crap. Hang on. I gotta get the light on it. There we go. That's better. Sorry about that. It says shed it all so that you can recover before moving into a time of reward. That's going to be the title because that sums it up. I absolutely love when I get to the Ancestor Oracle messages because it ties it all together. And wouldn't you, I mean, look at how cool that is. The last card we have here is that Nine of Pentacles. And I was describing that bird as the raven from the other card. And here it is, the raven, saying exactly the same thing that this has been saying. In fact, I'll repeat it. No, no. Release all of the pressure and expectations weighing you down. Shed it all so that you can recover. Four of Swords in the reverse. Before moving on, that Page of Wands with Death card, towards a new time of renewal. The Sun and the Nine of Pentacles here. This is, you know what is heavy, what is holding you back. Is it a person, a situation, a dream? Like the trees letting go of leaves and fruit in the autumn. It's time to let it go. When you hold on, you try to control reality. Remember I was saying up here, it feels like somebody is just digging in and trying to hang on through this change. Even here in the Strength card, it says holding on through change and fear. But here in the reverse with this Queen of Wands, it feels like somebody's clinging to you so that the situation doesn't change. Oh, sorry. When you hold on, you try to control reality, and that never works. When you let go, you make space for the new to enter your life. You're being guided by your angels and nature herself to release whatever is stopping you from moving forward. And you can do this. When the autumn card arrives in the future position of a spread or as the last card in the reading, it can also indicate the coming autumn will usher in important energies with regards to your question or intentions. So this makes sense because here the Lovers is in looking forward. So we're heading into spring right now, and then summer is coming. So I feel like this is the progression here. Current energy is this High Priestess getting some kind of internal perceptional clarity here about something that is not ringing true anymore. Okay, and then the progression here could be through summer, and then here in the autumn with the Nine of Pentacles and the Raven, and then here comes the Raven signaling autumn. Okay, here we also have the Heart Guardian. It says, love and let yourself be loved. That's that Queen of Cups energy. Okay. So, love and let yourself be loved. Welcome with open arms, opportunities to give and receive love. That's what that Queen of Wands was dealing with on the High Priestess. Trying to be perceptive about who you are going to offer that love to. Right? This says you are love, lovable, and loving. The energy of love is surrounding your whole world at this time. Angels are swirling around you, encouraging you to open your heart, that Queen of Cups, and having an open heart, and reveal the blessings that you have to offer. They want you to know that you are a highly loving being who deserves to give and receive love. If you're finding it challenging to feel love at this time, it's important for you to give yourself credit where it's due. That was that Three of Pentacles in the reverse. Give yourself some credit. There's a lack of recognition here. Okay? Not putting the effort into yourself. Give yourself credit where credit is due. You're also encouraged to welcome support from others. There's that Nine of Pentacles. Learn to receive. Don't try and do everything on your own. If you're working on a relationship or in a new relationship, this card can usher in energies that allow you to forge a powerful connection with your partner. Love is in the air. So nice. Now, this is going to come after some hard work with everything going on in Pisces. We are in an energy of doing some deep soul work. There's a lot of things that need to be shed. There's things that need to come to an end. We've got the death card here twice. There's a lot. We've got the tower here. There's a lot of things that we had held that were true out of tradition or because we were taught that way, that has to come to an end. And that's what's going on with this big Pisces cycle right now. So let's get some final messages, please. I know I'm over an hour already, but let's get some final insight, advice. Soothe, aloe vera. That's just be kind to yourself and allow yourself to heal. That's that Four of Swords in the reverse. Look at that, Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Diamonds, self-made prosperity, abundant and stable and independent. That's at the end there. I love that. I might stutter like hell, but my cards don't lie. So let's get a couple more, please, for the collective, for the Aries placements, please. Finding new love. The sun, look at that, the sun again. The self, the identity, illumination, generosity, warmth and growth, creativity, pride, playfulness, and expression. We've also got the clover here again. She's been jumping a lot lately. Luck. And I feel like that has to do with that Ace of Wands, that it's a gift, but it's out of nowhere. It's like unexpected. It's an unexpected, powerful, creative flash or something. This could be an open door, I heard too. Somebody's going to open a door to something. But we've got the clover here. Okay, luck, lightheartedness, untroubledness, I don't know, happy coincidences, small joys, being at the right place at the right time. I feel like that's how you meet that Queen of Wands. Or maybe you're the Queen of Wands and that's how you meet that young, fiery page that's coming to you. Oh, look at that. What did I say? Romance in the air. I heard that when I read the last line for that Heart Guardian. There's that Queen of Wands. A situation or something in it is toxic. Negative whisperings, heavy energy around. I'll put that right there. That's the poison vial. Oop. I'm not taking both of those. A couple more, please, for the Aries placements for the collective. You want to give me a song? You got the key. Once closed doors may now be opened. You have the answers. Couple more. Oh, all right. Yep. That's what you're coming out of, this dissatisfaction. You got the chipped teacup. Disappointment in the domestic home. That's what you're making a decision about. And we've got moon phases. Now, we just did come through the lunar eclipse. We are in the beginning of the eclipse portal, but we're also in the middle of two other portals, 3-3 and 4-4. Right in the middle of that, then we had the eclipse happen, and towards the end, in the next couple weeks, we're going to have the end of that with the solar eclipse in your sign, Aries. So we'll see what happens with that. A couple more, please, for the collective. Also, I think the moon is in Libra right now. I don't know if it's going to be moved on into Scorpio by the time I get to the next moon reading. The wheel. But what goes around comes around. Okay, illusion. See, you've been bamboozled. Something was not as it seemed. Remember, you are earth. Ground yourself. Build. Heal. Give, provide, and stay steady. Oops, sorry, I bumped the thingy. Is that too bright? Well, I'm almost done. We'll just get a couple more. I just feel like there's a couple more in there for you. Let's see. Are we over an hour? Yep, probably. Okay. No? Yeah, Mercury came out. Remember, Mercury's in retrograde, so oh wait, Mercury's in retrograde, but Mars is in Gemini. So make sure that your thoughts and what you communicate are correct, because there might be a little bit too much power behind the mouth and not enough behind the information. Okay? Okay, that's the last one. Cobwebs. That's a good one. You are protected from negative forces beyond your control. Okay? So that's what I have for the collective for this time for Aries placements. That's for everybody. Got Aries somewhere in your chart. So that's what I have. Oh, I didn't do my spiel. I hope this resonated. I hope the messages reached you for your highest good. If you did vibe with my content, then please take a moment to leave me a thumbs up, subscribe, share my video. It all helps get my content seen. In the description, you'll find my email and donation links. I am available for personal readings and birth chart inquiries. And for any small donation, I would love to do a 3-card spread as a personal thank you for you. So email, Venmo, Cash App in the description. I appreciate any and all signal boost, feedback, or donation. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. So until I see you in the next video, okay, thanks, bye.